So, number one, so this is the simple truth. Number one is for there to be an ambassador, designated ambassador appointed from the diaspora, it will need some policy changes in government or some pronunciations by government on that particular matter. Because you remember in the past, you people who came to the diaspora, especially people like Doro who've been here for 26 years, you know very well when you left Kenya, tulikuchangia pesa tukakupatia pesa tukakuambia hii ni ya kalamu, ukaambiwa enda na urudi. So the initial idea of the diaspora was never that you guys will come and stay. So nobody built any facility, any policy around it that you guys will stay here. And you can see that in the way even some of your relatives behave. Hey, ule alipotea huko ngambo. Hey, ule alienda huko, ule alifanya hivi. But right now, with the new way of the world, we're realizing that you can actually be a diasporan, but still belong to your country. So it is still a walk that we're taking. Number two, wacha nimsemeshe Professor Daudi kidogo. Prof, I don't think I know of any country whose diaspora has been strong and cooperative who were not brought together by crisis. The reasons those communities are that tight is because they have learned to depend on each other. Wasomali hawana inchi, tuseme tu ukweli. But hauwezi tuanisha Msomali wa Kenya na Wasomali. Problem ya Wakenya ni hatujawahi kuwa na shida that needs me to depend on Joel. That Joel is the only thing. When in Kenya, nakufa na wewe. Hakuna. The only time we do that is when Kenya is playing a rugby match, Kenya Sevens, and we go sit together in one stand. But immediately after, Wakisi wataenda kwa party ya mtu huko, Wakikuyu waende kwa party nyingine Mugithi huko, Wajaluo wabaki huko wakitafuta wazungu ndani ya crowd. But you never have that thing of people coming together. And I think it's our socialization as it is. Let me talk to Doro. Doro, I sort of agree with what Musa said about the remittances. And when we say that the remittance which is sent to Kenya, you never send it to government. This is what we are saying. The day we develop something called a diaspora bond, which will need, and we say want to build the road from Westlands to Rironi, we need $10 billion. And we turn to the diaspora and tell the diaspora, we need you guys to bring ile pesa meficha kwa mattress, nini. Since we shall still, either we borrow from China at 10% or we borrow from you at 10%. And then the diaspora comes and says, borrow from us at 10%, ndio hii pesa tumieni. It's the same propaganda we're having right now about the low housing project. Let me assure you guys something. If you don't get those houses when they are put out in the market, your politician, yours, will get those houses, alafu watawauzia. Jiulize, how come all these politicians have houses in all the vitongojis in this country? Walipata aje? Because mwananchi hakujizatiti kujituma hapo. But let's go back to the issue of diaspora remittance. Doro, the day you say we don't send money to Kenya for 1 month, I hope you have the statistics for money remittance in Kenya. Most money is sent first of all to mothers, and then it is sent to sisters, and then sent to brothers, and then sent to mzee. Mzee anakuanga huko chini na saa zingine hata hawapokei kitu. You can tell it, even you yourself, that's what you do. That's the order you use. Number two, most of the money is sent by women in the diaspora who send it home. Number three, the money which is sent to Kenya is usually used for social issues. Medical is number one. Funeral. Stima, maji. It's very small, a small amount of money ambayo inatumwa ya sherehe. So immediately you say you shall not send money to Kenya for 1 month. Wewe umemaliza mama yako, umemaliza
No, big amount ni ya sherehe, lakini ya kujenga inakuwa
Big Tech, give me 10 seconds of your time. 10 seconds of your time.
Those guys, the ones you have mentioned are part of the social amenities I'm talking about.
Yeah.
but let me say this.
Yeah.
That I think at some point a generation has to arise that looks beyond tribe. And that is why your third generation children cannot identify as Luo, Luya, Kikuyu, or whatever. I'm in Seattle a lot. I'm actually going there on Friday. And the kids hang out together like they don't care because they can't speak the language, and you can't inculcate in them the tribal hatred that us guys grew up with. You know? So a generation will arise which will break this tribal thing. But for right now, as it is, even back on the ground, that tribal factor would still play on.
Yeah.
I finish by saying this. Me, I'm very optimistic. Number one, I say this with all respect due. Number one, diaspora waache kwa kichwa ngumu bana. You are not better because you're in the diaspora. And I think this propagation of we are in America, so we are. I mean, let's be honest. Mise here has no say amongst us. As we're in America, he's in Canada. He's in the number 3 country. What about a guy who's in Pakistan? We don't even consider them as part of the diaspora. A guy in Uganda is in diaspora. Then Kisumu.
Yeah.
So we have taken ourselves as if we're the solution to everything in the world. Again, I insist. The only thing keeping some of us straight in this country is the system. And I am with you when you talk about people looking down on us, on people in the diaspora, ati because unaosha wanyanya, unafanya nini. Hapo shida ni ya kwamba Kenya tunaheshimu title kushinda pesa ambazo unapata. That is why Kenya mtu hawezi sema mimi ni mtu wa kutupa uchafu ama takataka, kuzoa taka. Lakini unataka kusema mimi ni supervisor. But wewe labda ni housemaid. But even a housemaid earns money. You know? So the thing about America, Americans respect, it's the dollar they're respecting, not the job that you're doing. That's why somebody can say, oh, I'm a barman, I'm a waiter. And it's a good thing. If you come to Hollywood, all the waiters are pretty, beautiful, all of them. It should not be a last resort for everything. And that one comes with the economy. It does not come with people. It comes with the economy. The day we start paying teachers more than politicians, then we shall respect teachers. The day we start paying garbage men better, right now in Kenya, we have a bill to pay watchmen 30,000 shillings. Imeleta shida. Makampani zimeenda huko kwa koti zinataka kuleta shida. But we must put dignity in some of these things. I had a school for creative arts in Kenya, and it was hard to sell to parents. Do you know why? Because a parent has never seen a successful DJ. So mzazi anaambia mtoto hakuna kitu kama hiyo, hautafanya hiyo kitu, unaenda waste your time. I remember in my tribe, we used to say that that guy is jagita, like ni kitu mbaya, like it's kitu ya madharau.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that is the issue which comes up with the attitude, which is over there. But let me finish with the issue of leadership and elections. I think for my posting, everybody who goes to opposition, when I came to America, I was very scared. I was saying, nitaambia hawa watu nini? But I said, you know what? Let me just be me. And I came here, I've not done things by the rule book. I said, let me just try and change the face of the consulate. And I said, if I change the face of the consulate, I will at least be able to sit with people on a podcast and they will not be attacking me. They'll actually be listening. Because in their minds, already they're like, Apana, we've heard good things about you, so you must be a good person. Part of the problem that we have with the civil service in many African countries, not only Kenya, is because of the colonial mentality. The colonial mentality is that civil servants were not taught to serve. They were taught to rule over. Civil servants were actually walikuwa maboy wa makaburu. So civil servant alikuwa ni kibaraka wa mkoloni. That's why you hear about the home guards are some of the ones who did the most torturing and all those kind of things. So we have a new face of the civil service. It is people who are coming in. Yes, we face great challenges because when you walk in, you're told one thing. Sasa unajaribu nini? Umetupata hapa na utatuacha?
Hapa.
Ni ukweli nimewacha wengine tayari ambao nilipata na waliniambia hivyo. But for me, it is about legacy, and a luta continua. It doesn't stop here. What do we do? Our action point. I love this kind of platform. I don't know if you guys are in the other group. I don't know if you guys are in commission where I make so much noise that I told guys, let us do a meeting like this where we discuss issues, where we demystify propaganda. You know, I would love to hear storytelling. People are saying about the affordable housing, about health and everything. And then I can tell you the truths that are happening in that country. You know, I mean, why would government owns all land? So government says, this land is mine. I'm going to give you, like somebody wants to bring an issue about other people. Yet we know very well that when you join parliament, you get a mortgage. So where we uchapata nyumba, but you don't want anybody else to get the house. A health. The health system cannot be that warped. You know, corruption. We need to have, and we need to decide at some point, and this is just my perspective, by the way. I'm a radical.